Hey friend, it's Cristin. Welcome back to Shut Down Not Shaken, a special mini-series of the At Ease podcast, where I give you an episode every single day while the government is shut down. If you're listening and the shutdown is still going on, or if you're in any season of uncertainty, I just want to start out by saying, I see you. I am in the exact same boat. The ground beneath us has felt shaky for a long time. Systems we thought were stable are showing cracks. The news is heavy, the work is unstable, and sometimes even our relationships and routines don't feel like they fit anymore. But the question that's been keeping me centered lately is what's still true. When everything around me feels like it's shifting, when titles, income, sense of self-control, or even the community itself is in flux, what still remains? So today's episode is a grounding reflection for uncertain times. It's an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to remember who you are beneath all of the noise. There is this collective feeling in the air, like we're all waiting for something to settle. But the truth is, the world isn't going back to what it was. The economy, work, education, even social life, it's all in transition. And transitions by nature are disorienting. You might find yourself asking questions like, what does security even look like now? Who am I without my title? How do I lead when I don't know what's next? These questions are natural. They're signs of awareness, not weakness, which is a good thing. But when the world feels uncertain, we can't anchor ourselves to the external, the job, the paycheck, the calendar, or the news cycle, because those things are designed to change. We have to anchor ourselves to what's true. And here's the thing about truth. It doesn't need to be proven. It just simply is. Let's name a few things that remain true, even when life feels like it's unraveling. So let's start with love. Love is still true. Not the romantic kind, but the deep knowing that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are connected to something greater. Our values, your values, those guiding principles that shape how you show up are still true. Maybe you value freedom, integrity, creativity, or service. Even when circumstances change, those values remain your compass. Our relationships, your people, the ones who see you, who text to check in, who remind you that you're not alone, they're still true. And if some relationships shift or fade, it doesn't mean you're unlovable. It doesn't mean that you're alone. It just means you're evolving. Purpose. Your purpose might take on a new form, but it's still true. The call to impact, to nurture, to create, it doesn't disappear just because the context changes. Faith. Whether you define it spiritually or simply as hope, faith that something good can still come from this moment, that's still true. Resilience. You have survived 100% of your hardest days. You've adapted, pivoted, and rebuilt before. When we forget what's true, we start to make decisions from fear instead of alignment. We take jobs that drain us because we're scared of lack. We stay in environments that harm us because we fear being alone. We overwork, overgive, or overperform because we forget that our worth was never tied to productivity. When we come back to truth, everything slows down. When I feel the weight of uncertainty, there are a few things that help me come home to myself. Silence, we've had a whole episode on that. Sitting in silence, even for 5 minutes. Let the noise settle until your inner voice becomes clear again. Movement. Walk, stretch, dance. Let your body remind you that you are alive, that life is still moving through you. Connection. That has been a reoccurring theme with each episode. Reach out to someone who feels like home. Call your friend, your sister, your mentor. Let their words anchor you. Gratitude. Even in chaos, there's always something to be grateful for. Breath, sunlight, laughter, community. Reflection. Ask yourself, what's still true about me today? What's still good, still sacred, still steady? If you can, grab your journal or open a notes app. I want to guide you through a reflection, one that you can return to whenever you feel uncertain or overwhelmed. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Now, write at the top of the page, what's still true, and begin to write without judgment. Ask yourself 3 questions. What is still true about me, even when my circumstances change? What values guide me, no matter where I work or live? Who are the people that remind me of my worth? What dreams still live in my heart, even when fear tells me to wait? What do I know deep down will always bring me back to myself? Keep writing until you feel something shift. Maybe you'll cry, maybe you'll smile, or maybe you'll exhale. That's the body remembering its truth. If no one has told you today, you are still whole, you are still capable, you are still loved. The world may be unpredictable, but your spirit isn't fragile. It bends, it adapts, it endures. So when you find yourself overwhelmed by the chaos, come back to your truth. Come back to love. Come back to yourself. Because even when everything else changes, what's true about you remains. Thank you for listening to Shut Down, Not Shaken. I hope that this episode has helped you ground yourself in your truth. And if the government is still shut down, I'll see you tomorrow.